It is 1987, and, oh god, what happened to the world? I mean, you figure with the fascists dominating everything, there wouldn't be so many released nations. Like, look at Siberia! After Germany took over most of the former Soviet lands, even getting into Asian Siberia, the rest of the Soviets have just fallen into many warlords competing for dominance. Wow, this is really starting to look like TNO. And I see even one of the warlords has decided to mimic the Cold War, with West Buryatia, who is democratic with their capital in Ulan-Ude, and East Buryatia, whose capital is in Chita and are communist. Okay, that's an interesting mimicry. Again, why do countries get exiled to the weirdest of places? Like, why does India only exist in Arunachal Pradesh? Weirder yet, they have a democratic government, but 65% of the population is communist. Oh god, and to make this even more similar to TNO, we have a German-Chinese puppet. I mean, maybe not exactly in the right place. I think it's actually around here in the scenario, like in the Cantonese region, but yeah, yep, German-China. Why not? But I also really want to see what happens if we give Afghanistan to Germany, because then their Indian territory will connect to their mainland. Like, what will their name placement look like? Okay, it didn't do as much as I thought. I guess the name placement was just like, nah, fuck it, we not going into India, we're staying up here. But yeah, of course we couldn't have a Man the High Castle-esque game without Germany owning half of the world's total landmass. Like... This is just ridiculous. I mean, besides Afghanistan, which I gave them, yeah, they also own most of Africa, and even the East Indies. Oh, God. And why am I not surprised? Like, most of the communist nations are just left after the collapse of the Soviet Union, all the way in Siberia. But one of the last bastions of communism in Europe is Sweden. And they are actually majority communist, 61%. It's not one of those instances where for some reason the majority is not the ruling ideology, which I don't even know how that's possible in a lot of cases. Also, Ukraine only owns 2 provinces. They're not even connected to each other. Southern Bessarabia, also known as Budjak, and then Bukovina. Okay then, and Hungary seems to be penetrating Romania, I guess. Oh, damn, that's so hot. Taking a look at factions, yeah, pretty much everything's dominated by the Axis, except for the Imperium Romanum, which makes me think Mussolini tried his old Roman ambitions, forming the Roman faction, and yeah, I guess Portugal and Namibia will be carrying on that legacy. Well, hopefully you made a good impact on them, Benito, but I really doubt it. Well, yeah, that's certainly gonna piss off a lot of Jews in the comments, but then again, I guess it kind of makes sense, since if Tiller hated the Jews, then wouldn't have he supported the Free Palestine movement? And looks like my homeland has been taken over by the Germans. Okay then, ein kleiner Bienen nach Deutschland. But yeah, the main focus of the video, Brazil, who I guess formed South America, since they were able to kick the British and Dutch out of Guyana, and I assume the British and Dutch there are probably going to be assimilated by the surrounding Spanish, Portuguese, and a little bit of French from French Guiana. I guess they got their cores back that I gave them, because yeah, I gave them cores on the rest of Mexico's former territory, and also Vermont and New Hampshire, because why not? It looks like Dakotas have become the hottest new exclave of the South American Empire instead of Missouri, which has now been connected by Arkansas. But you may be wondering why I even gave over Missouri in the first place, and that's for the same reason I gave over Louisiana. Haven't you heard of the Pawpaw French? Might actually have to make a video on that. Also, it's interesting to see that Iran joined the Axis, but really all they got was Van. Like, I know you want to unite the Persian people, but here you go. Here's a little bit of Kurdish land. It's like, are you going to give any more? Like, maybe Turkmenistan to Afghanistan? Nope, just Van. Looks like most of former British Africa was released, including Uganda, you know, do you know the way? I'm sorry, I know it's super dead, but that was a classic meme back in my day. I don't know, would you watch a compilation of me being a certain way for a certain time? Like, Kodu being middle-aged and culturally out of touch for blank minutes and blank seconds. Like, maybe I'll publish a video like that at some point. Also, I'm surprised Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Malawi are still alive. You know how much the Portuguese have always wanted to connect Mozambique and Angola. But yeah, I think the South American Empire, or Brazil, has done their job. They joined the Axis, helped out Tiller. They'd have a very bright future ahead of him as fascism takes over the world. I mean, he could even colonize the former British colonies in Africa if he really wanted to, except for Namibia, because that'll be a protected child by their father. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Matani!